Americans love scenery. We want to see it all, from one coast to the next, Mount Rushmore down to the Everglades. So hop into a Chevy Malibu and take the scenic route. It's the car you knew America could build. There's a place where people count on friendships they can trace back generations, where they can count on the same stool at the coffee shop waiting for them every morning. This place is called Glen Ellen, and you can find it in every bottle of Glen Ellen wine. This is craft brewed Herman Joseph's, the smoothest, easiest drinking specialty beer in the entire solar system. And I believe you'll find drinkable in the dictionary right after don't order a beer you can't drink. Zoingo! Boingo! The freestyle pogo with more boing, more bounce. Bounce further, bounce higher with Zoingo Boingo. To see what makes Arrowhead Mountain Spring water different from those other waters, you have to go back to the source. And with Arrowhead, that means going back a little farther and longer than most. Between security challenged and security strengthened, there's one important word: how. And it is the how that makes all the difference to our nation and our world. Lockheed Martin. We never forget who we're working for. What makes Kraft Singles so good? 2 out of every 3 kids don't get the recommended amount of calcium. But with Kraft Singles, they get a good source of calcium and the taste they love. Kraft Singles. Magic every single time. Throw boring overboard with a new real meal from Long John Silver's. A meal worthy of a plate, just $4.99. Only at Long John Silver's. We may not all be geniuses, but we can all do something smart. Introducing the Hyundai 199 Sonata lease. It's a smart deal on a really smart car.
A week after my heart attack, I had to have a procedure done to save my life. And during that procedure, they had to shave my balls. They asked for volunteers. Flaming gay guy goes, me! I'm like, yes, that guy loves balls. He'll take care of mine. But then, razor in hand, he looked me right in the eye and he goes, you remind me of my ex-boyfriend. Then I got scared. I'm like, this guy's going to lop off my left nut because Bruce never took him to see Hamilton.
Good morning. It's Friday, Parenting Friday, September the 19th, and this is The True Conservative. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host, and the only true conservative in the United States today. So today, after the Serenity Prayer and the patriotic song of the day, we will have Varney and Company, motivation, meditation, and the collapse of parenting. All that and more when I get back. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I should not change, the courage to change the things I should, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you, Maria Bartiromo, then Varney and Company.
Yeah, I'm really watching this call. Obviously, it's not just TikTok. It's TikTok, NVIDIA, and trade all wrapped into one. So I think an important discussion will be had today and hopefully a good announcement.
Oh, you know they're talking rare earth minerals, John.
Yes.
That's true. And I'm struck by the fact that despite this week's Fed rate cut, we have that 10-year yield moving up from just over 4% to 4.14%.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Great to be with you. I'll see you tonight on Marie Bartiromo's Wall Street. And Sunday, we're live from Charlie Kirk's Memorial. Join us then. David Asman, in for Stu.
We will be watching you this weekend, Maria. Thank you very much. And good morning, everyone. I'm David Asman in for Stuart Varney today. Stuart, by the way, is going to be back on Monday. Well, at 8 a.m. this morning, President Trump started a phone call with China's President Xi, closing in on trade and TikTok deals. Before the call, Trump said the two have, quote, a very good relationship and that both deals are, quote, very close. Well, futures are in the green, but relatively flat this morning after all the indices closed at all-time highs yesterday. On the show today, Donald Trump hinting at giving rebate checks with the money brought in by tariffs. We'll talk about that. Kamala Harris revealing that moments before her crucial debate with Donald Trump, President Biden called her to demand why she had been bad-mouthing him to donors. And just 40 minutes before his assassination, Charlie Kirk sat down with entrepreneurs to talk about leadership. We're going to be talking to the man who was the last person to interview Charlie Kirk coming up in this show. And 1 week after Kirk's assassination, Hillary Clinton promoting Teachers Union Chief Randy Weingarten's new book, suggesting her political opponents are, quote, fascists. What happened to taking down the heat? It is Friday, September 19th. Varney and Company is about to begin.
And there it is, the Ass Man, subbing for Stuart Varney and Nonprofit News Now. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little bit of Jordan Peterson.
I'll tell you this zebra story. This tells you everything you need to know about human beings. Zebras have stripes, and people say, well, that's for camouflage. Then you think about that for 2 seconds, and you think, that's a really stupid theory, because zebras are black and white, so you can see a zebra 5 miles away. Okay, so biologists go and they decide to take a look at some zebras, and you look at the zebra, and you make some notes, and you look up and you think, oh, Christ, which zebra was I looking at? And the answer to that is you don't know, because the camouflage is against the herd. So then you think, well, we better identify a zebra so we can see what he's up to. You take your Jeep and a can of red paint and a stick with a rag on the end of it, and you drive up to the zebras and you paint their haunch red a little bit. You know, you stand back and you think, hey, I'm pretty smart. Now I'm going to watch that zebra. So what do you think happens to the zebra? The lions kill it. Hunting animals are smart, but they have to identify a zebra before they can organize their hunt. And then they do pick them out. And so the rule for human beings is keep your damn stripes on so the lions don't get you.
And that was a little bit of Jordan Peterson. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, Hicock 45.
Hicock 45 here. You know, sometimes you just need a shotgun, a 12 gauge. And you know, in these YouTube Shorts videos, you don't have a lot of time, so we're going to help along there by using some short shells. That makes sense? We are geniuses. Yeah. Short shells for a short video. All right. Told you it'd be short. Life is good.
And that was Hicock 45. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little bit of Hugh Hewitt on Fox News.
The United States has the most robust speech protections in the world. The First Amendment here is much more rigorous than the protections accorded the average British citizen. That does not excuse Jimmy Kimmel's idiocy on Monday night And ABC is a private company, and unlike you and I right now, they operate in a regulated world on a broadcast network using the public spectrum. So they have an even higher obligation to the public. But I think what ABC was anticipating is they're going to lose half to three-quarters of their audience, and the advertisers are going to flee because Kimmel simply lied about Charlie's murderer. Charlie was assassinated by a left-wing fanatic, and that can be said over and over again, and you can't get away from that. So the decision to suspend and I suspect eventually cancel Kimmel is a business decision by ABC. When FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr came out and made comments about that, all he was doing was underscoring that the FCC has to regulate in the public interest, and ABC licensees have to broadcast in the public interest. Public interest does not include telling lies about left-wing nuts. Now, I don't know that ABC would have lost their license, but I know that ABC was looking at their sponsors more than they were looking at Brendan Carr talking about the FCC's legal responsibility. But our First Amendment, much stronger than Brits, and I'm glad that it is.
And that was a little bit of Hugh Hewitt on Fox News. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now, motivation.
Success, guys, a very, very lonely road, man. It's an uphill battle. You're going to see your shadow most often.
It's the lonely road. You're going to feel alone all the time. You're going to wake up earlier than everybody else. You're going to go to bed later. You're going to have massive swings financially, ups and downs. Why do I tell you that? That way when these things are happening, you'll know, oh, these are signs I'm on the right road. Most everybody else will do this. The crowded road. It's well lit. There's navigational equipment. There's directions. Really good roads. The lonely road, it's dark. It's not well lit. There's a huge ups and downs. Massive turns. Roadkill along the side of other people who quit on their dreams. The lonely one, there's yield signs about once a year. Just yield. Go back to the crowded one, man. Yield. Yield. Give in. Do the thing everybody else does. Listen to the haters. All the stuff they tell you. What's so bad about where you are? It's okay. What's wrong with you? Why do you want to be rich? Money doesn't mean anything. You're changing. Any of that sound familiar? That's all the lonely road stuff. That means you're on the right road. Don't yield.
Your thoughts are the currency in which you purchase your dreams. You have to think and believe inside yourself that you have the ability to respond when adversity strikes.
Success does not require you to look out the window. It only requires that you look in the mirror. You have to start taking responsibility for your life. That doesn't mean everything in your life is your fault. Some things that have happened to you are out of your control. But responsibility means I have an ability to respond.
I got me here to get me out of this. And I'm getting out.
Because it doesn't matter what happens to you. All that matters is what are you going to do about it?
I don't care what happens in your life. If you're going to have energy, if you're going to have passion, if you're going to have drive, every day you wake up, you've got to start with that vision.
I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it.
You've got to have a dream party every day. You've got to take out 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however much time you have, and you've got to actually go in a room, close the door, and you've got to see yourself doing it. You've got to actually walk in it. You've got to go in the future, live it out, come back in the present, and start working toward it. We just don't have sight. Sight is for people who live in the present. We have vision. We're going to make it happen before it happens. But when you're on the path to success, you're going to get hit in the face. At some point, you got to be tested by life. Suit up. And your problem is, every time you see a giant, you ready to run. I'm telling you, you got to get in your spirit. When you see that giant, let that giant know, suit up. You're not about to make me depressed. Suit up. You're not about to make me lose my mind. Suit up. You're not about to make me live in poverty. Suit up. You're not about to mess up my life. Suit up. Let's go. Suit up. Pick your head up. So what? Your life is not what you thought it was going to be. You're going to be okay. You have something great in you. You can do it. Where you are is temporary. You will not be there for the rest of your life. I can. I will. I will my way through every situation, every trial, every tribulation. I will my way through it. I don't care if it's cancer. I will my way through it. I don't care if it's MS. I will my way through it. I don't care if I'm struggling in school. I'm trying to get a degree. I will my way through it. It's going to rain sometimes. I will. You're going gonna feel discouraged sometimes. I will. No matter what the obstacle, I will. I must. I don't care if you fail the boards. Go again. I don't care if you fail the law exam. Go again. Will your way through it. Some things you can skill yourself through. Some stuff you gotta will your way through. And I went from a GED to a PhD, not because I'm smart. I willed my way through it. And people respect when you have average skill, but you have phenomenal will. They respect when you have a trial and a tribulation and you get through it. Beast mode is I will not stop when others stop. I will not quit when it gets hard. Beast mode is I will not complain. I will not worry. I will not fret. I will find a way when there is no way. I will make a door when there is no door. I will create a window when there is no window. I will create finance when there is no finance. I will find an opportunity when it doesn't exist. But I will not be defeated because I know what my desires are and I know what I deserve. So I'm telling you from personal experience, deal with it. Deal with it. And the sooner you deal with it and the sooner you overcome it, the sooner you get to your rewards.
Get right in the thick of it. Put your back into it. Put your will into it. Put your legs into it. Keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. Don't stop until you reach your goal. Don't let anybody stop you. Go harder. Go longer. Go faster. Keep going until you reach your goal.
The question is not if life is going to get hard. The question is, are you mentally tough to get through it?
And that was a little bit of motivation. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little bit of meditation. And that was a little bit of meditation. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now the last part of Chapter 5 from The Collapse of Parenting.
Means that you have reached level 120 in World of Warcraft. It means I'm the best there is, he said. There is no level above level 120. Okay, but in the real world, you're 32 years old, you don't have a job, and you live in your parents' basement, I said. So, you're saying that accomplishment in the meat world is more important than accomplishment in the virtual world, he asked. Well, if by the meat world you mean the real world, then yes, I said. I think that's a fair statement of my position. It was not a productive conversation. As near as I can tell, this young man is perfectly happy with his 65-inch flat screen, his 5.1 surround sound, and his 400-watt subwoofer, all paid for by his parents. He boasted that when a mortar round lands near him in a video game, the vibration from the subwoofer can cause books to fall off the bookshelf. His parents are concerned. What will happen when we're gone? His mom said to me. He's completely incapable of earning a living. In the real world, he is unemployed and unemployable. He dropped out of college. He has no real-world skills. As with the sex drive, the drive to achieve has been a primary motivator for men in almost every culture for which anthropologists can find substantial records. Video games divert that drive to achieve away from the real world and into the virtual world. When I try to explain that to parents, some parents just don't buy it. I played Space Invaders when I was a teenager, and it didn't do anything to my drive to achieve, one father said to me. But video games have come a long way since Space Invaders. Red Dead Redemption 2 is an immensely popular video game. You play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw living in the American West in 1899, a turbulent era as the Wild West frontier is morphing into law-abiding jurisdictions with reliable law enforcement. You can steal a horse, tame it, and win its loyalty and affection by treating it well. You can kill wild animals such as bison and elk, eat the meat, and save the carcass to sell later. But if you forget about it, the carcass will rot, losing value and attracting dangerous predators such as bears. In pursuit of your missions, most of which are violent, you can acquire and fire a variety of firearms as well as a bow and arrow. Your firearms require periodic maintenance to maintain their performance. Along the way, you can play poker, blackjack, and dominoes in utterly realistic saloons created with the assistance of professional historians. Red Dead Redemption 2, RDR2, cost about $540 million to make. By comparison, the 2009 movie Avatar, the highest-grossing movie of all time, cost about $237 million to make. So the budget for RDR2 was more than twice that of Avatar. RDR2 earned more than $720 million in its opening weekend. To put that number in perspective, Avatar earned $77 million in its opening weekend. By many measures, the video game industry is now bigger than the movie industry. It typically takes a minimum of about 40 hours to complete all the required missions in RDR2. When you have completed those missions and the game is done, you feel that you have really accomplished something. It's just such a great feeling, finally to get there, to finish, one young man told me. I'm just so proud of accomplishing that. Remember, this game cost more than $500 million to make. No expense was spared to make the gameplay utterly realistic and absorbing. You can go anywhere and do anything. Be the hero or the villain. And that's exactly my concern. The young man who told me how proud he is to have completed all the missions in RDR2, in real life, he works for a low wage at a dead-end job with little prospect of advancement. He's fine with that. I get my sense of accomplishment online. In other words, from playing online games. The job just pays the bills, he told me frankly. There are some gender issues here. Boys are more likely than girls to become addicted to video games. Boys are much more likely than girls to become addicted to porn. Girls, on the other hand, are more vulnerable to the toxic effects of social media, more likely to become anxious and or depressed. But my point is that too much screen time is harmful, whether you have a son or a daughter. I know a family where the teenage son spends every free minute playing video games and occasionally looks at porn. The teenage daughter spends all her time on social media, primarily TikTok. The daughter is taking medication for anxiety and depression. The boy is happy as a clam with his video games and his porn. He's not depressed in the slightest. But both these kids have problems. Just because the boy isn't anxious or depressed doesn't mean that he is fulfilling his potential. On the contrary, he's doing poorly in school. His sister's getting almost straight A's. He has the potential to be an excellent student, but he spends his free time playing video games instead of studying. Both these kids have problems, but they have different problems. Both kids would benefit if the parents cut back on their screen time. But when I suggested to Mom that she begin by making sure neither kid has a phone in their bedroom at bedtime, Mom said no. My daughter would totally freak out if I took her phone from her, she said. Okay. In this chapter, we have talked about the risks of social media, pornography, and video games. What are you supposed to do about it? Social media isn't going to go away. Neither is porn. Neither are video games. So here's what I recommend. 1. No devices in the bedroom. That means no TV in the bedroom, no video game console in the bedroom, and no phone in the bedroom. This has to be your call, not your child's call. It is not reasonable. It is not age appropriate to dump this decision, whether or not to have a phone in the bedroom, in the lap of your 13-year-old. What is she supposed to say in school tomorrow when her friend says, "Hey, I texted you at midnight. How come you didn't answer?" Is your daughter supposed to say, "Well, researchers have found that the mere presence of a phone in the bedroom diminishes the quantity and quality of adolescent sleep, increasing the risk of both anxiety and depression. For that reason, I give my phone to my parents every night at 9 p.m. and they keep it in their bedroom." It's completely unrealistic to expect a child or teen to talk like that. You have to allow your kid to say, "My evil parents take my phone every night at 9 p.m. and switch it off and put it in the charger, which is in their bedroom." And that's what you should do. That's also the official guidance of the American Academy of Pediatrics. No phone in the bedroom, no video game console in the bedroom, no TV in the bedroom. 2, no devices at the dinner table or anywhere, anytime when the family is together. Family time is a time for you to talk with your kids and listen to what they have to say. Screens interfere with that. No TV playing in the background either. Likewise, no use of phones or earbuds in the car. Time in the car is special. It's private time. When you are in the car, you should be listening to your kid, and she should be listening to you, not scrolling through social media or playing a video game. In the car, you can use your phone to listen to music that you and your kid can enjoy together. My daughter and I have memorized the lyrics to dozens of songs, from the final movement of Beethoven's Ninth, to the Beatles, to Bruce Springsteen, to Taylor Swift. You shouldn't make a phone call to a friend when your kid is in the car with you. That's sending the message that your friend is more important to you than your kid is. That's the wrong message to send. Exceptions for emergencies only. 3, no social media. We have already discussed the many risks of social media. The risks of social media now greatly outweigh any benefits. No social media for any child under 18. That's the rule we followed with our daughter, now 17, and neither she nor we have any regrets. You can listen to a podcast in which our daughter addressed this question in her own words. The interviewer asked her why she doesn't have any social media. She answered basically, I have a life. She dances, she hikes, she does crafts, she hangs with friends. She recognizes that social media would take time away from those activities, and she doesn't see the point or the need. 4, no pornography. In the United States, it is unlawful in all 50 states and all United States territories to sell, distribute, or display pornography to a child under 18 years of age. Of course, any kid with a smartphone can view unlimited porn, but that doesn't make it right. We have already considered the evidence that when a kid is looking at pornography beginning in middle school, it can really mess with that kid's head and undermine motivation to make romantic connections in the real world. 5, limit video games. My daughter and I play video games together. It's fun, and it's no big deal. But if video games are displacing your kid's achievement in the real world, then that is a big deal. No more than 40 minutes a night playing video games on school nights, no more than an hour a day on weekends, and your minutes do not roll over. Please refer to the chapter on video games in my book, Boys Adrift, for a review of the research supporting these guidelines. No video games until all the chores are done and all the homework is done. No video game console in the bedroom. We are at a pivot point in human history. Artificial intelligence platforms are causing many people to wonder what's next. Some tech moguls want us to invest much more of our time and our money in a metaverse of their creation for their profit. But we now have sufficient evidence to recognize that kids need to be grounded in the real world, not the world of screens. To the extent that kids live in the world of screens, they are at increased risk of anxiety and depression, especially for girls, and increased risk of disengagement from the real world, especially for boys. Don't expect much help with this. The leadership at your local school, no matter how enlightened or informed, can't limit what your kids are doing in their bedrooms on evenings or weekends. That's your job. Some people in government are trying to do something about this. Several states are making it harder for porn sites to promote their wares to kids under 18. The attorneys general of 33 states have filed a lawsuit against Meta, parent company of Instagram and Facebook, alleging that Instagram and Facebook subject young users to a wave of harmful, manipulative, and addictive content, and that Meta knowingly designs and deploys features harmful to children on its platforms, while at the same time falsely assuring the public that those features are suitable for children. But real help from the government isn't likely, at least not anytime soon. And the tech industry certainly isn't going to help. If anybody is going to limit and guide your kids' use of screens right now and not 10 years from now, it's got to be you.
So that's the end of chapter 5, screens. Again, he fails. The biggest problem with this chapter in the book so far is that he fails to identify the difference between liberal and conservative parents. He is obviously a conservative parent. He sets the rules. He and his wife set the rules in the household, and their children go by those rules. They make sure that happens. Liberal parents have no rules. We know that from the book called The Sovereign Child. No conservative parent is going to be out, well, I'm doing the best I can, but oh my God, you mean my child's watching porn? Oh my God, you mean my child's spending all this time on social media? No conservative, normal parent is going to do that. Normal parents, conservative parents are concerned with their kids and set the rules in the household as what they can or cannot do. When I was growing up, it was television. Television was the big deal. That was the social media / computer game, deal of the day. And spoiled children, the children from liberal parents, would have televisions in their rooms. Normal parents made sure that didn't happen. If there was 2 TVs, there was one in the parents' room, but other than that, there was one in the family room, and that was it. And then if the kids are going to watch TV, they come into the family room and watch it where the parents can supervise. So again, but he's going to have some responses at the end of the book in part 2 in terms of his recommendations for how to fix things. But again, he's going to miss the idea that you got to talk to the liberal parents. Normal parents don't have problems like this. He doesn't, because he's a normal parent. It's the liberal parents. You remember his little quote there from the one mother that he told her, make sure that your child does not go to bed with her, take her cell phone into her bedroom. And that mom said, what? No. Flat out, no. She's not going to do that. So that was, again, the end of chapter 5 from The Collapse of Parenting by Leonard Sachs, MD, PhD. Back in a minute. Thank you. This is Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today, bidding adios to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there, and reminding you that abortion is power for men.